Broadcasting live from the Game Collection Studios in beautiful Seattle, Washington. Featuring 8BitEric. This is The Morning Wood.
Good morning, everyone, and a happy Wednesday. I hope you're all enjoying your coffee this fine morning. It should be 8 o'clock right now if I got my ass out of bed in time to set this to public. How are you, Derek?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing very good. It's hot.
Yes, it's a very hot morning.
We had to turn off the aircon to start filming so there wasn't much background noise. So, what you gonna do? On today's episode we have
a special guest, 8BitEric, joining us today.
We're very, very appreciative of having him along today. We're actually going to give him a call in just a second. But first, we're going to read some comments. Comments from the last episode of The Morning Wood. Remember, if you leave comments down below, we will read them out next week on The Morning Wood. The first one from the Loch Ness Monster, which is a title, a name that I've always really enjoyed. This episode needed some Chris.
It did need some
Chris.
Chris.
I hounded Chris for 3 days leading up to that episode to get me some footage, and he didn't. So that one's on Chris.
On the bright side, he's had a whole other week to film something, so let's hope he pulls
Hey,
through.
if you don't see him on this episode, you'll know why. Comment number 2 from The Man Cave. Do you want to read this one out? You should read this one out.
All right, from the Man Cave, we've got Love the Morning Wood. The three of you got me into starting my YT channel. I'm guessing it's YouTube channel. Yeah. Keep up the good work. P.S. I'm from Tampa, St. Pete as well.
Thank you, The Man Cave. I've seen your name around a lot lately. Thank you for leaving all your comments down below. And that's always really refreshing to hear that we helped started a thing, that we made someone happy. And obviously, I was referring to me, you, and Scott from last week. But George something, Boygenstock, I don't know.
Birkenstock?
He said, what is your favorite game of all time? Mine would be Ocarina of Time, which actually the Let's Play of today that you can go check up on the channel. What would be yours?
My favorite game of all time is really tough to pinpoint, but I'd have to probably say, tentatively, it's a toss-up between Terranigma and Earthbound. God.
Two very good RPGs. I think Derek's going to go ahead and take care of the meowing cat right now. We're live. Anything can happen. We're going to go ahead and call Eric here in just a second. We're actually drinking real coffee today. You had real coffee last time.
Yeah.
I had water, but I'm drinking coffee because I need a pick-me-up. He's got some
going?
Starbucks.
Star Fox.
Star Fox, even better. How are you? How are you, Eric?
Doing good. Doing good. How's it going?
Yeah, not bad.
Peak.
How goes the YouTube channel?
It's going. It's slow and steady wins the race. You know, it's not a PewDiePie, but it's it's a little bit better. I like to say I'm cuter than PewDiePie.
Okay, so we're going to talk about some Nintendo, some Wii U, and some 3DS. Hot off the press conversation today, and that's going to be the episode. I think we're going to cut out the whole pickup segment that we were doing because it took way too long.
It really kind of dragged the show down, I think. So yeah, let's get back to the news.
And we've pulled Eric along with us because he is very Wii U. Tell us how much you love your Wii. Don't you have every game out for the Wii U, Eric?
All 5 of them?
Pretty close. I got about 50 games.
5-0?
Yeah, 5-0. And I have a lot of downloadable games, like indie titles and stuff like that. So I like the Wii U. I think it's a pretty good, underrated system. A lot of people give it flack. I do think that it's going to have the next game of the year on it.
I recently downloaded Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past on my Wii U, so I look forward to playing that.
So already
That's
it's got one of the
classic.
best games of all time on it.
Yeah, and speaking of Nintendo, this whole list is Nintendo, so we're going to start and kick off with, you can pronounce it because I always get it wrong.
Okay, the Amiiqo.
The Amiiqo. So me and Derek were talking about this earlier. Have you heard about this, Eric?
No, I have not heard anything about it.
So essentially what it is a Android downloadable app where you can download a file, an image file of an Amiibo, and you can circumvent the whole system and not actually have to have any of the Amiibos and use that with your Wii U. So if you wanted to unlock any of the characters in any of the games or any of the skins or anything like that, you just download this app and you just throw it on. So my question is, how long is this going to last before Nintendo rips it down?
It's probably not going to last at all. The thing is, okay, so do you even have to buy Amiibos anymore, or could you just download the image files?
You can just download it. From what I understand, but that's not what they're intending it to do. They say you can share it. Basically, you're backing up, they might say, image files of these Amiibos onto something like an Android device.
So what, like you take your Android screen and you put it on your gamepad and it reads it?
I'm guessing that there's probably some sort of peripheral that they need to release in order to actually be able to read these RFID chips.
My next question would be, you're a big Amiibo collector. Is this going to replace your Amiibo collecting?
No, it's not.
Honestly,
I might download the image files anyway, but it's not going to replace it. At least getting the characters I want. Maybe the ones that I don't want. Like, I don't want to waste money on a Zelda or a Princess Peach, or a Pokemon one. I don't like any Pokemon, so
yeah.
Maybe I'll just download those image files just to get the Mario Kart 8 skins or whatever else they come with, whatever else they do nowadays, or for Mario Maker.
So saying you don't like Pokemon, I'm assuming you're not too excited for the Pokemon the Super Mario Maker then.
I don't know. I'm more excited about being able to play as other Amiibos on Mario Maker, like Link or Star Fox.
This is the most exciting piece of news for me this week, and that's Zombie U coming to PS4 and Xbox One. I guess I'm excited mostly because I love that game to pieces. I think it might even still be the best experience I personally had on my Wii U. And I know a lot of people hate the game, but a lot of the reason why I love the game is because of the gamepad and the integration into the gamepad didn't feel too gimmicky, and now I'm not going to get to use that. But they've upped the brutality of the game, which was cool, and obviously the graphics will be a little better. What do you guys think?
I don't think it's going to go over so well. I think it's going to be a bad port.
Do you think it's Ubisoft trying to actually make some money on the game?
It's strange. I don't see why it's like almost 2.5 years late that they ported it. That's a pretty old game.
I mean, I feel like they backed Nintendo hard to begin with. They said they weren't going to stop making games, and I think they really have. And I think part of that loyalty to them was not releasing the game until the sales on Wii U really dropped and the price of that game went down to about $5. And now they're like, all right, Nintendo's not making money off it anymore. It won't be too much of a stab in the back if we release our game.
Yeah, but I mean that game kind of dwindled down pretty quick anyway.
Yeah.
I think it went on sale pretty fast. I got it. That was like my second or third Wii U game. It was all right. I didn't think it was that great, but I don't see how it's going to be any better being on the newer systems 2.5 years later. I think it's going to be a lazy port.
The Wii U is about the same graphically as the PS3 was, maybe a little bit better than the PS3, but we're still seeing ports and HD re-releases of games that were released on the PS3 and the Xbox 360 ported to these newer systems. And I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact because it's easier to just port them. It's not as difficult as it would be to port like older games where you'd have to remake all of the assets.
That's
it's
the
a
thing,
pretty
though.
streamlined process at this point.
I think it's cool that people port stuff over and there's remakes or remasters and stuff, but I don't know. I think it is a little, I don't want to say lazy, but I mean,
it's getting a little played out.
Well, I mean,
when people are like, "Oh man, I just got an Xbox One so I can play Conker's Bad Fur Day on it." Come on.
Well, speaking of that, what about the Gunstar Heroes coming to 3DS on August 20th? Because that's exactly that. But I feel like if it's for 3DS, generally you have to rework the whole thing to get it into 3D.
Yeah.
Well, Gunstar Heroes, I mean, in and of itself was an old game for the Mega Drive, aka the Genesis. I mean, that to even get it at the resolution of the 3DS would take a graphical overhaul. So they're going to be doing a lot.
And I've never really played that game too much, but I've heard a lot of great things about it. That's kind of weird that it's coming out on the 3DS all of a sudden.
See, I've played and finished that game, and I loved it and thought it was great. It surprises me they're picking that game to port, though, because it's just a very random Sega game that I'm sure most people that aren't into retro collecting haven't even heard of or have long forgot about. No one's been asking for it. It's just kind of here, and it's awesome. But I wonder what their angle is.
Who knows? Who developed it?
Treasure.
See, that's even random, too.
Yeah. They're gone. They're long gone.
So I wonder who has the rights to that now.
All right, and that's all the Nintendo news we have for the day. So we're going to wind up and cut to Chris before we head out. But first, we're going to talk to you guys about something that I found out recently through a channel called Re-Res, and that's how to sub properly, which is an interesting little bit of information that I'd like to share with you guys. YouTube works on algorithms much like Facebook does, and it dictates and decides what videos you're going to see in your sub box. And a way to actually see all the videos from a channel is to do a thing called the double tap, which I believe is conned by Re-Res himself. Essentially, you want to hit the subscribe button, and then next to that there's a little gear icon, and you want to click that and then click all notifications from this channel, and then click OK, and then you will be double tapped. You will be actually properly subscribed to a channel, and you won't miss the videos.
And on mobile, if you look at a channel, it's a little bell right next to the sub button. You just hit the bell.
While we're talking of subscribing, Eric, for those of the people watching at home that aren't subscribed to your channel, why should they double tap?
Double tap because I make videos all the time. I have an upload usually almost every day, live stream. I have no shame. I make videos about everything. So if you want to see somebody that constantly makes videos, updates, tries to talk to everybody, comments, then check me out. 8BitEric. I got a ton of videos. Not all the best quality, but you know, if you're looking for something to watch, then my channel is a good place to start.
Much like my channel, where you never really know what you're going to get on a Saturday as far as video content wise, it's the same with Eric's. Our channels really aren't the usual gaming channels. You're not going to see the same boring stuff every week. You will see something different. So that's why I like Eric's channel, is you never know what you're going to get. So
yeah, thank you.
We're going to cut to Chris now for a moment with Chris, and he's going to rant about something for a little bit, and we'll see you guys in a second, and we'll say goodbye to Eric.
Thanks, Wood. Now, today I want to talk about my favourite shooter. Favourite shooter would definitely have to be Halo 2, and the whole Halo series as a whole. Halo 2 was probably the first game I played on the Xbox. After playing Halo 2, I of course played Halo 1 because it was so good, and these games are absolutely amazing. They brought visuals that you'd never seen before in games at all, and they combined it with the smoothest gameplay and a great story. Obviously, first-person shooter came a long way with this game. Before that, I mean, the only thing first-person shooter that was even worth mentioning before the Halo series, or maybe Call of Duty, is GoldenEye. And when you compare GoldenEye to even the first Halo, the difference is absolutely huge. But for me, what was really special was Halo Reach. Playing the game that was the direct prequel to the first game, where you're playing as characters, you know what it's building towards, you know about the ending really, and it's just such an amazing story, and the gameplay is so great. After that though, I lost interest in the series. I haven't honestly played Halo 4 or anything since then. It's not something that the series did. Obviously, I absolutely loved Reach. But with the change of developer, I just found myself not caring anymore, and it wasn't because there was a bad game, well, a game that I played that was bad. So my question to you guys is, has there been a series that you followed and absolutely loved every single game? You cannot wait till it comes out, and then one day you just stop caring? I don't know. Back to you, Wood.
And thank you, Chris, for whatever you just said, unless you didn't send me footage again this week, in which case no one will even see this, but I really hope you all did. We're going to say goodbye to Eric now, so thank you very much for joining us today, Eric.
Thanks, guys.
We really appreciate it, and all the help with the Nintendo news, and everyone remember to sub to him and sub to both me and Derek while you're there.
Yeah,
so,
double tap.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. See you later. So that's all from us here at the Morning Wood today. You kind of just sprung to action then. So we tried something new today as far as the setup, and you might have seen we were looking over here a lot, looking at Eric's face, but you'll see him up here, which is a little confusing. But we're trying to work out the kinks of this show and get it to where it needs to be. And speaking of, they might actually move to live tapings. Maybe. It's something me and Derek talking about, seeing if we can get the camera hooked up to the computer and film it live, 8 o'clock on Wednesdays, and get guests live. So that'll be really exciting if we can wake anyone up at 8 o'clock in the morning to join us for shows. But we'll see how that goes. So thank you for bearing with us through all the kinks and all the bugs. So, Derek, once again, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
I don't really have a choice because otherwise I have nowhere to film or edit.
I'm happy to open my home to you.
I appreciate that.
And to you.
We are sweating buckets, so we're going to go turn the fan on now. But I hope you all have a wonderful day, and if you're watching this at night, have a good night, and that's all from us here at the Morning Wood.
Enjoy your coffee.
Enjoy your coffee.